My ex-best friend literally kept an entire list of all the times that a guy took his attention off of her and put it on me, and she brought that list up in a final conversation when I was ending the friendship over her being way too male-centered. Extremely ironic. She had hella receipts, and I didn't even know that we were in competition. Stay with me though, because this is going to be a series called Brit versus the Pick-Me's. Every best friend that I had in the past was a complete pick-me, and all of our friendships ended over men. Like, I broke it off because they were too obsessed with men, or they broke it off because they were choosing a man over me. Let's go back to Kiki to start the story. Kiki needed me to lose, like, no matter the circumstance. We met in high school, and our friendship continued into college and beyond. One time I had a crochet in, and the curl was like Brazilian something or the other. It didn't look super natural, but it looked natural enough. And I was in the bathroom. We were at a party or whatever. I was in the bathroom, and it was full of women. She was in a stall. I was in a mirror saying, oh my God, my hair is so tangled. This is so annoying. She was like, you mean you're crochet? She shouted from the stall so that the people in the bathroom could know that my hair wasn't real, just to, I don't know, humble me in the moment, I guess. I really don't know. And I was like, yeah, my crochet, whatever, my hair, the hair that I have in right now. She's like, yeah, I hate when that happens to me too. No, baby, you just wanted to embarrass me. Another time, we had gone to FAMU for homecoming, go Rattlers, and we were walking out of Walmart, and there was two dudes at the front. Mind you, it's homecoming, so it's just fine dudes everywhere. And there was two dudes at the front, and they were like, clearly about to say something to me, clearly. Like, you could tell by their body language. So she points to my stomach and she goes, girl, you can exhale now, as if I'd been holding it in to look skinny. This was not just one or two things. Though there's just a couple of stories that I'm going to mention for time's sake. This happened over and over and over again over the years of our friendship. So when I say she took the cake for male-centered pick-me behavior, I really mean that. The real question and the point of this video is I need to know, how did I continue attracting male-obsessed pick-me girls when I am the anti of that? Like, look at my page. Look at the commentary I make about men. Look at me on the podcast. Like, I've always been this way. Friends call me when they want to leave their man because I'm going to give them the push to do it. So, like, why do they keep befriending me? Like, maybe it was frustrating because I was never competing with them over male attention. I've always been self-validating, meaning that if I don't think that I look beautiful, I don't look beautiful. And a million compliments will not make me feel beautiful. Never has, never will. But they are in forever competition with me. It constantly felt like they were caught between admiration and resentment. And then the resentment would just take over and the friendship would end. Never chose a man over a friend in my life. Again, I just want to know, like, why did I keep attracting that? Somebody help me out. Someone explain it to me. Someone break it down. I'm in my 30s now, and this no longer happens. All the women in my life are amazing, and I love them to death. And I don't deal with pick-me's anymore. But again, in my teens and in my 20s, this was my life. So yeah, I just kind of want to understand.
Male-centered women make the worst friends possible. They prioritize having a male validate them versus being a good friend to you. Like, they'll put you in really weird situations that make you so uncomfortable because they want to have that type of guy around, or they're not telling you when they invite a guy, you know, just very like annoying, weird things. And they put their guy above you every single time. I was supposed to have a girls' night with a so-called friend, and she totally agreed, like, we're gonna have a fun little girls' night. And then last minute, she tells me that she wants to hang out at a bar where the guy she's talking to is working at, so we have to stay there the entire time. Like, nothing's happening. Mind you, are we getting discounted drinks? Yes. However, it's just like an odd situation. Like, it was Halloween day. Like, we literally were doing nothing but sitting there to each other. And mind you, she was like staring at him the entire time, being so weird and not herself because her guy was around, so she had to act a certain way, right? And God forbid, you know, she showed any personality around him. But she was like, no, like, I want to stay here. I want to wait until he's off of work so that we can go to the next bar across the street. And I'm like, girlfriend, like, did we discuss this? Did we discuss that we were going to be bringing guys or center guys around our hangout? Mind you, this guy also looks or checks out other girls in front of her, and he's like, whoa, her ass is totally hanging out. And she's just like sitting there all meek and quiet. He did this like twice to her. The minute that I actually am like questioning him, and I'm like, what's so interesting about that? You know, just asking the question, she looks me dead in my eyes and is just like, Ashley, don't. And I'm like, excuse me? Excuse me. And she like tells me privately, she's like, Ashley, if I don't have a problem with it, you shouldn't either. And I'm like, okay, weird. You should like have self-respect, but yeah, let your man check out other girls in front of you, girl. Yeah, that's really cute. This girl also was encouraging me to go find another guy when me and her were supposed to be hanging out, but because her guy was there, oh, she's like encouraging me to go hang out with other guys. Like, literally the worst person. Never hanging out with this type of person again. So yes, any friend that is male-centered will be a awful person, awful friend to you. They will never put your needs first. They will never just have a good time with just the two of you. And you are never just going to feel like a priority. You're always going to have to compete with this guy and compete for their attention. And they'll put you in just odd situations just to be around a guy. If you're friends with this type of person, I'm telling you, it is not going to go over well. Absolutely not. This person's kind of a weirdo. So literally, like, please pay attention to this.
Male-centered women do not make good friends. I feel like that is just, we all know this, but I'm gonna tell y'all a story time. And here's the thing. I don't think wanting a boyfriend or wanting marriage or companionship means that you're male-centered. And that doesn't make you male-centered. But if being male-centered, just being boy crazy, like everything that you do is for a guy or to accommodate a man, that you can't even maintain friendships, you're male-centered. Okay, right? So my friend from back home in Jacksonville was visiting me in Miami, right? And we were super excited because I feel like she had only been to Miami like a couple times. So she was like, yes, period, I'm coming to Miami. We're about to turn up, blah, blah, blah. We had both took off because we were working at the same place remotely. So she comes to Miami. First night, it's cool. She had missed her flight, so she got there like later than what she was supposed to be. So I feel like the first night, from what I remember, was kind of light. The second night, we're going out and she's like, hey, I know this nigga that I used to talk to in college who lives here. Do you mind if I invite him, right, out to the club with us? So I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, typically you don't bring sand to the beach, but if you're bringing the man, he's gonna pay for everything, right? So no, the man does not pay for anything, and he's rude and just like super sassy and passive aggressive towards my friend. Like, so we're at Brickell or whatever, and I'm like, oh, okay, like, you gonna buy her a drink? Like, you just seeing her for the first time in a couple years? And he was like, no, like, we can buy rounds, we can all buy a round of shots, but, and I was like, oh, okay, this one's a little feisty. So whatever the case, we're chilling, we're drinking, and she starts like dancing, twerking, and I'm like, you know, get your girl or whatever, like he's just acting stank. And he's like, no, she's for everybody. Excuse me? Because you're talking about my friend. I'm not trying to kill the vibe, so I don't say nothing to her in that moment, but I'm just like, girl, like, are you ready to go or whatever? Once we get in the car, I tell her, I'm like, girl, he was acting shady towards you. You know, he was saying like he wasn't gonna buy your drink, and then I had told him to dance with you, and he said no because you're for everybody. And so she's like mad. She's like, oh my gosh, she's drunk too. She's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe like he would say that, like F him. Like, so when we get back to the house, she calls him and she's cussing him out. And he's like, I was just playing. Your friend trying to start drama. I was just playing. Dude, why would you play like that with a friend that you just met? Like, we ain't buddies. Like, you already didn't want to buy her a drink. Why did she end up leaving with the dude anyways? He ended up coming to my house to come get her, and I did not see her again until he brought her back on the day that she was flying out to get the stuff that she left at my house. She stayed with him for the rest of the trip. Mind you, she came to Miami to visit me, stayed with the nigga who said she was for everybody for the rest of the trip. Then told me that his house looked like a woman lived there. But, you know, that ain't even why we stopped being friends. But we stopped being friends because she was male-centered, but it was just more instances after that where I was just like, you know what, cool on you.
Male-centered women are the worst type of women to be friends with. These are the type of women who will ditch you to go hang out with a man. And don't let y'all be in public hanging out with men. They will start to try to take over. They want all the attention. They'll try to like demean you, talk down to you in front of these men just so that they can get all the attention. These type of women, I can never see myself being friends with them, because I feel like if you need that much male attention, you don't need to be friends with a woman like me who's a girl's. I can't be friends with women who are male-centered.
The older I get, the more I realize how undesirable it is to hang out with women who do not have hobbies. They don't do YouTube, they don't do Bible study, they don't hike, they don't do anything. They are just so male-centered. Everything about them, everything that surrounds them, everything that they are attached to is so male-centered. Everything, the entire conversation comes back to their boyfriend, their husband. Everything comes back to a man that they are dating. And it's so exhausting to be friends with people like that, because you could really just be telling them about your day and they will bring up their husband, their boyfriend, etc. in some capacity. Everything that they have going on is about a man. Even when they're asking for advice about their boyfriend or their man or whatever, they will pose it in a way that they're asking for advice, but they're really not asking for advice. They just want a way to talk about their what they have going on. And it's just like they don't have anything else going on but this person. Everything about them is rooted in competition, whether they're aware of it or whether they're not aware of it. I had a girl tell me last year, like, my check engine light was on, right? And it was nothing. It ended up being like a sensor issue, but I told her that my check engine light was on. And she was like, never has my check engine light came on. And like, she was, I can't even, like, she was driving some car or whatever, and she was like, and I drive a 2000 girl, what are you talking about? It gets so draining hanging with women like that.
I don't care. I'll be the first to say it. I cannot be friends with girls who center men. Like, when we go out to eat, you talking about a man. When we on the phone, you talking about a man. It's like when we texting, you talk about a man. Sit me and send me those friends that talk about goals, talk about traveling, talk about life, talk about blessings, talk about something other than a man. Like, I get it. Don't get me wrong, I get it, but I can't.
One of the biggest red flags in a friendship is a girl/woman prioritizing men over your friendship. Very male-centered women, okay? Every time I've seen a male-centered woman, they care so much. When you're going out in a group of like women, they care who's looking at them. They care if a guy dances with them. They care if a guy buys them a drink. Their attention is always somewhere else. It is never on the girl dynamic. For them, if a guy does not hit on them that night, they get in a bad mood. If a guy does not give them attention, they get in a bad mood. Like, they center their entire night having fun based on a man. They cannot just be happy with the girlfriends that they have. Those girlfriends that are with them, they have to like tiptoe around her to kind of like cheer her up, make her happy, because maybe the guys are just like not giving her attention, so you have to kind of make her feel good, right? So those types of girls, they will 100% ditch you for men every single time, and they are one of the worst friends to be with. I'm sorry. Anytime a girl wants to talk about guys only, or gets sad about a guy, constantly guy, and goes out of their way to try to prioritize the friendship, that is the worst friend that you will have. They're never going to have your back. They're always going to make you feel like you're questioned if they even care about you. The type of women that have learned that male validation is literally nothing, literally means nothing, those are the best type of friends to have. You can go out, you're genuinely having fun with each other, dancing together, and that's fun, right? But those women that are only caring about how men view them when they're out, the worst person. They will not be a good friend to you. They will ditch you right away for some other situation with a guy. And I'm telling you right now, they will make you feel so lonely and absolutely like shit. So please be careful with male-centered female friends. Very, very weird.
Story time about how one of my male-centered friends lost everything she had behind a man. Just a little bit of background information. When we first became friends, I knew that she was male-centered, but it wasn't to the point where I felt like I had to stop being friends with her. You know how we all have friends who kind of just do dumb stuff when it comes to men? That's how I thought that she was. She also was a very big user of dating apps, and she would always meet men on dating apps and invite them back to her home where she lived alone. And to me, I always thought, like, girl, are you crazy? Like, that's not okay. So fast forward, we decided to go to a R&B concert that's at the State Farm Arena. After the concert, we decided to go from the arena to Midtown to have late night happy hour at STK. Everything's good at STK. We're eating, kikiing, having a fine time. I get up and I go to the bathroom, right? So I come back from the bathroom and she like, girl, why this man come up to me and start having a conversation with me? Girl, he was tall. He was 6'7". I said, well, oh, okay. I said, well, where is he, right? She said, oh, he was just getting carried out. I was like, dang, I missed him. I said, did you get his information? Did you get his number or anything? She like, nah, girl, we just was having a quick conversation. So I'm like, okay, well, whatever. So we continue to eat and finish up the rest of the night, right? Now, please keep this in mind for the story. I drove to her house where she lives in Lawrenceville. I parked my car there. We Ubered from her house to State Farm Arena for the concert because we didn't want to deal with parking and all of that. After the concert, the plan was for us to go back to her house and kind of have like a slumber party. So just chill, watch movies, talk, whatever. So we finish eating, and once we finish up, we walk outside of STK to catch our Uber, and 6'7", we gonna call him 6'7", 6'7" and his friend are outside. Now, the way that she had explained this encounter, I'm expecting to see some Adonis, y'all. I'm expecting to see this tall, just real good looking man, right? When I seen him, I was like, now, he was in fact tall. Was he 6'7"? I don't know. When I seen him, girl, straight, I'm sorry, but he looks like a bum. He had on basketball shorts, like flip-flops and a t-shirt. He didn't have no haircut. I'm like, this the man that you're talking about right now? So when I see him, I'm not impressed at all, right? But at that point, they see each other. He walks up to my friend and is kind of making small talk. Because mind you, we're waiting for our Uber. Or we hadn't ordered our Uber yet, but we were in the process of ordering our Uber. So 6'7" is with a friend, right? And so I'm kind of looking like, I said hi, of course, but I'm kind of looking like... So she's sitting here having conversation, like small talk with this man. And so while I'm waiting, I asked a friend to come snap some pictures of me in front of the STK sign. So he does that. He took some pictures of me, and then we had like little small talk conversation. By the time that happened, our Uber showed up for us to go back to her house. So now our Uber is here, and at this point, I guess my friend is 6'7", have exchanged numbers or social media or whatever. I say bye. We hop in the car. We going back to her house. Remember, I told you that we were in Midtown at STK. She lived in Lawrenceville, which is a good 40-minute drive. So we make it back to her house, and remember, I told you that the plan was for us. I'm thinking the plan is for us to have a sleepover, kiki, watch movies, do whatever, and then I'll leave the next day. When we get back to her house, she tells me, oh yeah, I invited 6'7" and his friend back over here. I said, I'm sorry, what? You did what? Why? She like, oh, we're not going to be doing nothing really, you know what I'm saying? I just want to talk to them more, and we're not doing nothing else, so we might as well invite them over. First of all, we don't know these men from Adam. And while they did not look like threatening men, it's still extremely dangerous. Why would you invite men over that you don't even know to your home? You know what I'm saying? So me, I'm irritated about it, but I'm like, they didn't seem like they was super threatening. And me, I got my pew-pew, so I'm like, even if they try something, you know what I'm saying, I'm like, nuck if you buck, for real. So they come over, it's cool, it's chill, whatever. We end up playing Uno, right, sitting at the table. And so we play a few games of Uno, and then we kind of break off into having our separate conversations. I'm talking to the friend about his job because he had a very intriguing, interesting job. So we start having conversation about that, and then I notice that my friend and 6'7" are no longer sitting at the table. So after talking to his friend, I'm like, wait a minute, let me go see where they at, just to make sure, like, ain't no funny business going on. So I go upstairs, y'all. Why are they both in her bed? He's in her bed with his outside clothes on, talking about, oh yeah, I'm just up here rubbing her feet, you know, giving her a massage and stuff. I'm like, you got him in the bed with his outside clothes on, and y'all just up here having a whole little good time, and you got him massaging your feet? Like, you don't even know this guy. What are you doing? So at this point, it's gotta be about 1:30. So I'm like, well, I'm about to wrap it up. I'm about to put my pajamas on and probably get in the bed. So yeah. So she like, yeah, it's time to wrap it up. And so I head back downstairs, and they follow me back downstairs to tell 6'7" and his friend goodnight. So we wrap everything up, we tell them goodnight, they leave, and we both go to bed. The next day we have breakfast, and we're kind of just recapping everything and just chit-chatting, right? And so I'm like, ask her, I'm like, so did you like him, or were you feeling him? Are you interested in him? She like, girl, no. She like, girl, I am going to block him. I don't like him at all. He is not my type. No. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, I figured that he wouldn't be your type, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, cool, right? Never spoke nothing else of them. So fast forward a few months later, me and her go and we have dinner just to catch up and chit chat. So I bring it up like, oh yeah, have you talked to those guys from that night at the concert? She like, girl, no. She like, I blocked them and never talked to him. I was like, oh, okay, bet. Never, I'm thinking I'm never gonna hear about them again. It's gonna get good, y'all, I promise. Please just stick through this with me.
So there are certain things that I didn't experience in life. I genuinely didn't know existed until I experienced them later in life. One of those things being females who are male-centered and females who are constantly in competition with their friends. Now, male-centered women. I thought that this was a thing that you experienced in high school, like middle school going on high school, where, you know, you see it on TV, the stereotypical boy crazy girl. But I never questioned what the boy crazy girl grows up to be. I always thought, you know, everybody just kind of like
grows out of that. I want to say a year ago, I met someone who is so male-centered. Like, their entire lives revolves around men and male attention. And it genuinely baffled me. I don't think that I'm not male-centered because I like women, because you can still be a lesbian and be male-centered. I also want to clarify, I'm not a lesbian, I'm bisexual. I feel like my whole life I've done the opposite of what men want or what society wants. Like, my whole thing in life is feeling like I've never gotten anyone's approval, so I'm never gonna try. But in my 20s, to be around someone whose entire life revolves around men, it was a culture shock for me, to say the least. One thing that I distinctively remember that this girl did, she had these cool pair of pants. Well, I thought they were really cool. And she put them on to go to a party. She tried on this outfit, and she asked me how I felt about the outfit. I really liked the pants, but I didn't like the shirt. So I told her, keep the pants, but try it on with a different shirt. She said, okay. Then she turned around and asked the boys, it was two of our guy friends, and she asked them, how do you guys feel about this outfit? Both of the men disliked the pants. They were not feeling it. When I told her that I liked the pants, she looked at them and she was like, yeah, she likes them too. She genuinely likes the pants. That's why she bought them. Right after these niggas told her that they didn't like the pants, I've seen something that I just did not expect. This girl walked her butt into her room and changed the pants. I said, why did you change your pants? Cause the boys didn't like it. Right. The next thing that this person did, she started seeing this guy, and this guy just did not like me. Understandably so, because I didn't like him. She used to come to me with her relationship problems and ask me for advice. And I used to keep it frank. It sounds like you need to leave him. Leave him. And you know, he gives me bitch vibes. Like, well, unbeknownst to me, not that I actually give a fuck, she used to go back and tell this nigga what I would tell her about him when she's coming to me asking for relationship advice. And this man asked her to stop fucking with me. He did not appreciate my life advice. He asked this girl to stop fucking with me, and you know what she did? She stopped fucking with me. And she was just acting funny for like months, and I couldn't understand why. And come to find out, so basically months later, come to find out, we had a conversation, and she's like, yeah, my boyfriend told me to stop fucking with you. And I was like, and you did? She was like, well, that's my man. Right. And these are the same men that will always leave you high and dry. And what was interesting to me is how she never considered how I would feel in any of this at all. She didn't even have a conversation with me telling me, hey, my man wants me to stop fucking with you, so I'm just gonna not talk to you no more. I'm not gonna fuck with you no more. She just started acting funny. And it wasn't until months later, when the relationship was falling apart, that I found out about any of this. And when it comes to this person, I have to learn that I'm just a girl. There's only so much I can say, do. Like, it doesn't matter what I could literally not exist. For all she cares. As long as men are around to give her that validation, that's all she needs. And, you know, I ended up talking to her about this. I was like, you know, you're really male-centered. And she was like, yeah. Like, she knows. And this is when I started to realize there's no point of trying to convert these women onto the other side. A lot of them know that they're male-centered. They don't give a fuck. If for some reason it works for them. And I think that we should just let them. Now, I used to have this old friend that would say, men love men real bad, and women do too. And that is the truest statement I've ever heard. And if she does not get that copyrighted, I swear I'm gonna make merch out of it. It's the truest thing anyone could ever say. Men love men real bad, and bitches do too. Men rarely hold other men accountable for anything. They love each other. They can deceive each other and still get back to being bros. And men can do the same thing to women. Deceive the living fuck out of them. Manipulate them and still have them in their corner. Men love men real bad, and bitches do too. As far as the female friendships, some of y'all don't fuck with y'all friends for real. This video is longer than I expected, so I'm gonna make another video on that. Anyway, from your favorite Haitian.
For the girlies out there who have friends that's male-centered as fuck, y'all got it, because it can't be me. Having a male-centered friend is not for the weak. You guys are a different type of strong. I remember I had this girl I used to hang out with. We're gonna call her Becky. Now, me and Becky used to work together, and she was my coworker, but I ended up leaving the job because it was like only a seasonal position, so I didn't really stay there for long. But me and her still kept in contact because in the workspace, we was cool. But one day she hits me up. She's like, girl, long time no see. We should hang out. Like, Just because we don't work at the same job don't mean we can't hang out after hours. And I'm like, okay, cool. So me and Becky made plans to link. It was just for us to just like be together. Now, the moment we link, she gets into a story time about some guy that she was talking to and how she felt like this guy did her so wrong. And she moved this guy in with her and he was sleeping on her couch. And she basically took in a bum. Took in a bum, right? She literally explained the story. The story took about 25 to 30 minutes long. I'm going to listen to the story the first time. Cool. Tell me all the tea. I'm listening. I'm willing to give a lending ear. As we're walking, this guy passed by me, right? Didn't even notice him. She looks back and she was just like, oh, you didn't see the way that guy was looking at you? And I'm like, no. She was just like, well, he was looking at you. I think he thought you was cute. You should go talk to him. Who? Like, this random man in the street? No, I'm good. At that time, I was probably like 18. Definitely wasn't legal. Like, I was 18. I was legal, but not legal. You know what I'm saying? She was like 25. Like, she was way older than me. So I'm like, nah, I'm good. So just continue your story. I'm listening. So she gets to telling me the story. So I give her advice. And I'm just like, well, if you feel like he did you wrong and you took him in and he just threw it back in your face and then got back with his ex after you just basically sheltered him, then fuck him, block him. That's it. You don't got to speak to him. You don't got to curse him out. You don't got to say nothing. Just block him and move on with your life. Sometimes you just got to take some shit to the chin. Feel me? Apparently, she didn't like that advice that I gave her, right? Because she wants so bad to curse this man out. So she calls another friend while me and her is hanging out. And now I have to stand and walk around with her for the next 30 minutes as she's explaining the story again to that friend on the phone. And guess what the friend tell her to do? Block him. Don't curse him out. Who gives a fuck? Like, okay, take that shit to the chin. Block him. No. Now she's trying to get us to see, like, her side on why she should curse this man out. At this point, I'm getting irritated because it's like, bro, like, I don't really care to talk about this man no more. Like, we came here to spend time with each other. Like, I don't care. Like, can we just, like, do something fun? So fast forward, we link up with 3 of her friends, right? There were 3 guys. Never met them before, never seen them before, nothing. Yes, they were older than me. Probably like 21, 22, 23. I don't know. They were older than me. They were in their 20s. I introduced myself, this, that, third. They was like, oh, one of them was a photographer. I think they was just like, oh, we should do a photo shoot together. Da, da, da. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. Like, I would love to do a photo shoot. I never did that before. Now, this is what started to fry me. As we're walking and I'm getting to know the guys, her side of friends that she introduced me to, mind you, know, she starts pointing out little things about me. Like, oh, Khalid, you're mad skinny. Like, you're mad slim. Like, you don't be eating. Like, you need to eat. You need to hop on this gym routine I be doing. You're mad skinny. Okay. And it's like, oh, Khalid, you should reapply to the job because I know your job is only paying $15 an hour. You should reapply because they just upped our pay wage. Now we making $18.75 an hour, and you should. Why are we talking about my pay? Why are we talking about my pay, and why are we talking about my weight all of a sudden? Then everything I said, she tried to one-up me on or try to make it a competition. I realized she started doing that because the men was there, and it was just like I feel like you're nitpicking at me. So we are walking down the street to Soho, and we see this fucking like Sour Patch Museum, right? And I'm like, oh, I love a museum. Like, we should go inside. Like, we should go see if it's still open. Let's go inside and look. And she was just like, you want to go in there? That's mad childish. Like, why you want to go in there? Like, this, like, you want to go in there for what? Like, brother. So the guys is like, I'm down to go to a museum. Like, we not doing nothing but walking around and talking. I'm down to go to a museum. So I'm like, cool, let's go. We get in the museum. They were about to close, so they started giving us free everything. Free candy, free merch, free everything. They took us around the museum for free. We got some dope pictures just out there. The guys are having fun. And then she turned around and be like, yeah, I love doing stuff like this. I love being spontaneous. I love museums. Da, da, da. You just said I was fucking childish. Like, what the fuck? Now we get back. Now we like, oh, let's get some food. So we get some Shake Shack, right? We sit down at Shake Shack. It's me and her and the guys across from us, right? And she's telling the guys about the story again, about the man again. And I'm like, oh, brother. So I'm minding my business, eating my food. They're like, oh, Khalid, you don't got no new man that you talking to. Like, you not interested in no new guy. Do. So I was just like, actually, at that time, I was speaking to this guy, and I felt like he was so sweet. Up to this day, I feel like he was so sweet. I was speaking to this guy, and he was so sweet, and I was just like, well, I just went on a date with a guy, and I'm delusional as fuck. So I was just like, oh, my God, I think I love him. Like, he is so sweet, but, like, I don't, like, if you see how, if they didn't ask, like, I wouldn't have just brought him up. Like, I didn't care to, because, like, y'all don't know me like that for me to be telling y'all about my love life. But the guy was sweet. He took me on a very, very nice date. He thought about me. The first date was so thoughtful. And I was, like, kind of geeked about it. So it was like, oh, Khalid, you in love, this out there. Here go this bitch. You in love with a man you just met off of a first date? Bitch, you took some man in and had him sleep on your fucking couch that was still fucking with his ex. Oh my God, that's exactly what I said. Just like that, in that order. Bitch was gagged. Don't fucking, I was so sick of her trying to clock my tea, bitch. Now it's my turn. And what? You were in love with a bum. You was paying all the bills. You had him sleeping on your couch. And he was still fucking with your ex. And he was talking bare shit about you. And he said that you fucking stink. You was all showing all the fucking screenshots of how this man disrespected you. And you talking about me? I packed. And then on top of that, oh, before that even happened too, we was talking about plans we were going to do afterwards. And they was like, oh, let's go to this club. Let's go to this club. Let's go to this bar. And the guys was like, well, she can't get in because she's not 21, trying to include me. And she was just like, well, she's just going to have to go home. Bitch, now you want to fuck. Now I got to fucking go home. But this is before I even said what the fuck I said. I deadass clocked her tea because, bitch, don't talk about how I fell in love in 3 days when you moved some man off of fucking Tinder that you fucking met, bitch. Oh, my God, I was so fucking mad. So I went home, right? I went home. She gonna have her homeboy call me talking about something. Oh, I think you should apologize. Fuck you and that bitch. I don't even fucking know you, bitch. I just fucking met you. And I blocked them. Yeah, having male-centered friends is not very weak because, bitch, fuck.
I've seen a lot of think pieces on male-centered women, and I wholeheartedly agree that male-centered women are by far one of the dangerous species of people I have ever met in my entire life. I don't think people realize how deep it can get. Like, it's beyond like, oh, they're gonna choose a man over me, oh, like this and that, or they leave me at dinner and they go with the man. No, like, they literally, like, if they had to choose between leaving you in the middle of the desert with no water or no food and being eaten by coyotes, they would choose that. And that person would be perfectly fine. Like, they would be in the house fine. But if they had to choose, like, between you being alive or unalived, and this person is fine, they will sleep well at night knowing that you're in the desert turning into a skeleton. So, true story. So I was actually, I had went to like a Halloween party with one of my friends, and I was in college at the time, and she wanted to go out all night. Cool. I was actually looking forward to it. We went to a Halloween party at this club, and she wanted to stay at her baby daddy house. And so since she was my ride, I had to spend a night over there too. So I believe it was his mom's house, if I'm not mistaken. But she wasn't there. So I was staying upstairs and her baby daddy was staying downstairs. So I remember being woken up, y'all, in the middle of the night, and her baby daddy's friend, mind you, earlier that day before we had went to the club, I briefly met him. He had told me his name. We introduced ourselves to each other, and that was the gist of the introduction. We didn't talk all night, nothing, literally nothing. And so I'm ready to go to bed. This is after the club. I'm going to bed. He comes in the room where I'm sleeping in, and the dude is like, so what's up? And I'm like, nothing. Like, I'm about to go to sleep, you know, just chilling. This man literally proceeds to say, your friend said that you were going to me. Your friend said that you was down, like that's what you finna do. And I said, well, pretty much you heard wrong, brother. I'm not sure what conversation y'all had about me, but that ain't what this is. I'm going to bed. He literally is trying to, like, literally would not leave me alone. All I wanted to do was go to sleep. He's getting mad, upset, and I'm trying to keep things cool because I don't know this man. I don't know what he's capable of. So I finally get him to leave. I literally had to wrestle this man. Okay, I had like a spaghetti strap shirt on, and he literally was trying to pull my stuff down, y'all. Like, I literally had to wrestle this man. Long story short, the next day I had mentioned it to my friend, and I was like, yeah, like, homeboy was being weird. Like, he kept trying to, come on to me. Y'all know this girl said, oh, well, I mean, I did tell him that, like, I thought, whatever. The whole time she's talking about it, it was like such not a big deal to her because her only mind was she's going to spend the night with her baby daddy. And you know what's so funny? The entire night, because her baby daddy was actually at like another party, and he ended up coming to the club. They wasn't supposed to meet us there. It was just one of those things where, like, it was one of the only clubs for in the area, whatever. And so he ended up there. And so all night she acted like she was just so disgusted by her baby daddy and all this other stuff. But in actuality, she wanted to be with him. And so she was lying to her mama and made it seem like she was spending the night with me. The reason why I brought this up is because I was literally the scapegoat. So she wanted to spend the night because at the time, even though we were grown, we were like 18, 19,
her mama did not like her child's father. So if she knew that she was going to be with him, she wasn't going to let her out. So it wasn't like, oh, she just wants to be with me because I was her friend. No, I was her scapegoat. And she decided to tell this man that I did not know, didn't even talk to me about it, and tell him that I would have sex with him. I didn't know this man. And she called herself basically speaking on my behalf and pimping me out low-key. Not even low-key, high-key. Moral story is, male-centered women are by far the most dangerous creatures I have ever come across in my life. They will do anything for dick. It don't matter who it is. It don't even gotta be a boyfriend or baby daddy. It could be a dude they just met. The stuff that they do over men is fucking scary. If you notice somebody acting like a fucking Looney Tune over a man, leave that bitch alone. I'm telling you right now, because these bitches are out here literally will unalive friends over dudes that they met at the club. Don't even know this man from a can of paint. Or they mad because they friend got more attention at the club than they did from a dude that they like. Or hell, it could be a dude that they don't even like, but because the dude like you, it's a problem. These hoes are strange. Pray over your life, okay? Pray for discernment, because they tell themselves all the time, these bitches are scary and they're weird.
Y'all, so let me tell y'all why you should not be friends with male-centered women, or you should not tell B-words your business. Y'all, so I had this friend before. Let me tell y'all, we had been friends for a while, y'all. Like, when I say a while, I mean a while. So I had already knew she was kind of male-centered, but I just kind of like chalked it up to her being kind of insecure or whatever. I never really cared. Like, that shit wasn't, you feel me, it didn't bother me, it didn't make or break me, you feel me. That still was my bitch. So mind you, she had done a few weird ass things before, so I should have expected this, but I never expected this, because I'm always the person to give somebody the benefit of the doubt, right? So mind you, we having a drunk night one night, all us in my crib, we eating, we talking, we drinking, everybody getting drunk, and we telling each other our body counts. Wrong thing. Mind you, I'm not tripping, because I don't think shit wrong with my body count, you feel me? So we all going around telling each other our body count, we laughing, hee hee ha ha, telling our sex stories. Y'all know how women do. So y'all, since we getting lit, you know, we in a mixed friend group, so we like, all right, let's call some of the guys over, whatever. We call like 2 or 3 of our guy friends over, right? Long story short, they get there, I'm looking good, smelling good, I'm feeling good, you feel me? We all looking good to me, feeling good, so I ain't thinking too much of it, because these just our homies, you feel me? We've been around them a few times. So they come in, they compliment me, they saying, oh, Brandon, we ain't seen you in a minute, it's nice to see you, oh, I like your house, it's cool, whatever, da-da-da. I'm like, thank you. Now, I should have known it was going to be a motherfucking issue, because one of the guys, she been had a crush on for a while. Now, imagine, I'm not thinking shit of it, because I'm not doing shit. I'm not flirting with the guy. I'm not doing nothing. I'm literally just existing. You feel me? And since I know my friend got a crush on this nigga, I would never even take it there. Whole time, me and the nigga talked before when we was younger. And she know this, but since she got a crush on me, it is what it is. I never care. Especially because it ain't never no shortage of men. You feel me? For me. So, I never care. So, we get to the back. We smoking. We talking. We doing all this and that, y'all. So they talking to me, and I guess that shit must irritate her, because they not really talking to her, they mostly talking to me, which is cool because they see her way more than me, so of course we got more to catch up on. So I thought, so I'm not thinking none of it, but I could tell she acting a little weird, but I'm trying to ignore it because she do that shit all the time, so I'm not even tripping. Y'all, why randomly, I kid y'all not, all this happened in the span of 20 minutes, right? Why randomly she asked them a question. She say, hey, I got a question for y'all. So we all just looking, we like, okay, girl, what's up? She say, y'all two, talk to the niggas. How would y'all feel about a girl who had X amount of bodies? Mind you, it's the same amount of bodies I literally just told her I got less than 20 minutes ago. Then she had the nerve to kind of look at me out the corner of her eye. Y'all, I was befuddled. When I say befuddled, I literally was just looking at her like, is you cool? Like, this can't be real. You ain't never about to give it to me like that. So the guy's just like, oh, I don't care. Like, you feel me? I don't care how many bodies a girl got or whatever. As long as she take care of herself, that shit don't matter. Now, I'm still stuck because I'm like, who is you feeling like? Like, what made you just do some weird ass shit like that? And my thing about it, it made me so mad because it was like some underhanded way to try to think you embarrassing me or making me feel some type of way. Bitch, if I was embarrassed, I wouldn't have told nobody how many bodies I had. So that shit really blew me, y'all. Like, cause I felt like somebody was trying to like hold me, like she was trying to hold me or something in some type of slick undercut way. And I hate for people to not be direct with the shit that they do. Like, be direct. Put a name on it. Be direct with your shit. Don't try to be slick and slide with what you doing so that if I bring it up, you kind of could be like, oh, what you talking about? Y'all, that shit made me so motherfucking mad, y'all. I didn't know what to do. So then the niggas leave. I'm sitting there laughing because I'm like, I didn't get the reaction that you wanted type shit. Mind you, I never even mentioned it, brought it up to her, because me being me, still being nice, I'm thinking, you know what, I'm gonna get her a pass because her ass drunk. Mind you, anytime she ever do some weird shit, I always speak up on it. I never give it a pass. But today I'm like, I'm gonna get her a pass because she drunk, and I understand that she might have a little insecurity there. She probably thought I was trying to flirt with the nigga, or the nigga trying to flirt. You feel me? Trying to be a good friend and give excuses and shit when I should never gave nobody no motherfucking excuse, because why is you playing with me? Especially over a man that I don't even want, y'all. Not even my type. So after that, I still was cool with her for a while, but it's like I just couldn't let that shit go. Like, I'll be sweeping, trying to just sweep them out my float, and it's like my ancestors to bring that memory back to my head. Like, you still gonna be friends with her? And yup, moral of the story is, y'all, do not tell motherfuckers your business. And if you got male-centered friends, do not hang around them when it come to men. Hang out with them when you ain't gotta be around no men. Because if you get a little too much attention, they definitely is gonna be feeling some type of way towards you, and it's just gonna start drama that you don't need.
Imagine having a male-centered best friend. Just imagine it, honestly, because is there much to say at that point? Can you really have a best friend that's male-centered? No, because you're not going to last long, in my opinion. So this girl posted on TikTok, said that she had a best friend that was very male-centered. Whenever she would start to talk to guys or get guys' attention, it was all about them. It was like, fuck my life. What do you want, baby? Could never be me. So she said one day, she's from Atlanta, Georgia. She said one day her and her best friend went out to go eat. She went to the bathroom. Her best friend was out waiting for her. When she came back, her best friend was like, yo, there was this guy. He was like 6'7". He was trying to fuck with me, like all this other stuff. It was a good conversation, but we left it as that. He had to leave because he was just ordering to go. And she's like, oh, okay. Like, damn, y'all should have exchanged information if y'all was really hitting it off like that. And she's like, yeah, whatever, it is what it is. They finished doing whatever they were doing there at the restaurant. They call their Uber. They go outside. They're waiting for their Uber. They happen to see the guy that was just in the restaurant that the best friend was talking about. 6'7" dude, right? He wasn't actually 6'7", I don't think, but he was definitely in the 6 foot range. Okay, tall guy. He was there with his friend. So then they kind of chop it up for a little bit while they're waiting for the Uber. The girl telling the story was not interested at all in either of them. It was just on some cool shit. Well, they were going back to the best friend's house, okay? While they're there waiting for the Uber, the best friend and that 6'7" guy exchanged phone numbers. And the girl telling the story mentioned that the 6'7" guy looked bummy as hell. He was not somebody to be stressing over at all. Okay? They ended up exchanging information. They hop in the Uber. They go home. Now, on the way home, they were supposed to have like a little girl slumber party at her crib, right? Like, okay, we haven't seen each other in a little bit. Let's just spend some time together. We ate some food. We're going to be at home, chilling, watching movies, whatever, right? Good girls' night. All of a sudden, this girl's like, oh, I invited them over. You invited these strangers that we had only talked to for a few minutes over to your house where it's just us two. Do you think that's a good idea? Anyway, she did it. So she's like, fuck it. They didn't seem like people to be like weary of, or people, they didn't give it any sketch vibes. So she was like, whatever, I'll definitely be on 10 toes, but I'm not gonna sit here and do too much about it. She just thought her friend is like male centered, like she just boy, give me attention. So they come over, they're kind of chilling in the living room. All of a sudden, best friend and 6'7" take off into the room, right? And she's sitting there talking to the friend, and it's kind of like, where did they go? So she goes to her room, her best friend's room, and opens the door, or goes in, and he's like massaging her fucking feet on her bed and shit. And she was just like, all right, girl. And they were like, oh, like, we're just chilling, having a conversation. We just wanted to be a little more private, right? She's like, okay, well, I'm going to bed. So y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. Just letting you know that guy's in the living room. I'm going to bed. They end up just saying, all right, let's just call it a night. They go home. The boys go. They stay there. They call it a night. They move on, okay? Well, next morning, she's like, hey, are you fucking with him for real? Like, do you like him for real? And the girl's like, no, hell no. Like, he's not even my type. It was just like a in the moment type shit. We didn't even do nothing. He's not my type. Okay. Stood on that. Now, months later, right, because they don't live super close to each other. I think they live like an hour away. And during this time, like, the best friend's mom had passed away. Her sister had passed away. Like, a whole bunch of shit was going on. So they went some time without, like, linking up. Well, finally, they link up at some point, and they're catching up. And she even asks her, like, hey, have you talked to that one guy since that time that he was over at the house? She was like, no, hell no. Like, I blocked him. I don't want nothing to do with him. Like, he's not my type. Stood on that. Well, they do whatever they have to do, or they do whatever they do, and then they kind of move on. They go their separate ways, and a couple days later, Bestie is like, hey, I think I'm going to be moving to Texas. And she's like, oh, shit, that's kind of a big move, but, I understand, you're going through a lot. Your mom and your sister just passed, and I understand why you'd want to start fresh somewhere new. Sure enough, sold everything she had. Everything she owned, she sold, except for her vehicles, and moved her ass to Texas literally within the week of her fucking saying that. And she was kind of surprised, like, damn, you literally up and, like, left quick as hell, like, excuse me, like, that was kind of fast. Usually, it takes a little time to move, but she said, fucking no. All of a sudden, completely ghosts her best friend, not the girl telling the story. Her bestie ghosts her, okay? She would hit her up like, hey, do you need help with the move? Let me know and I'll help you. Like, if you need help with anything at all, just let me know. No responses. Would hit her up here and there to check on her. No responses. Well, then months later after that, Bessie hits her up and is like, hey, girl, sorry I've been ghosting you. Like, there's been a lot going on. I actually ended up moving in with 6'7", and we moved to Texas together. 6'7", the guy she said she blocked and wasn't her type, and that she never spoke to after the fact that he had gone over to her house. That guy? So you lied all this time? And you uprooted your entire fucking life to move because it was his idea to move to Texas. He wanted to a new scenery. And guess who paid for it all? Bestie. Guess who was paying all the bills? Bestie. Guess who didn't have a job? 6'7". Guess who ended up cheating? 6'7". And that's why she was calling her bestie. Like, I'm actually going to be moving back because he's a piece of shit, has been cheating on me. Mind you, they didn't even know each other for more than a year while all this occurred. That is a male-centered female for you. That's it for you. So sure enough, she comes back, right? And she's dead broke at this point. She got fired from her job, couldn't pay her bills anymore, and he ended up keeping the lease there, which I don't know how he was going to pay for that shit, but he his damn self was broke. Anyways, he stays there because he wanted to keep living his life there. She came back, ended up getting help from her dad to get back. When she's back, they're like communicating a little bit. She's like, hey, I want to get back to how we used to be, all this other shit. And she's like, okay, maybe we can do something, but I'm kind of like, at a distance because you already did some weird shit over a guy and lied about it. So I can't really trust you for real. Well, then literally within the week of her being there, or a couple weeks, I don't know, one of those, but very soon after, Bestie starts talking about, oh yeah, well, you know, my man said I could move in with him if I really need to, you know, to get out of my dad's basement. And she's like, your man? Bitch, did you not learn the first time you're looking to move into another man's place, or moving in with another man you just met, after just having this fucked up ass situation with this other man who literally ruined your life? So she said, she blocked her after this. She said, we can't be friends. And people that are this male-centered to this extent of really uprooting their entire life for a man are the type of people that would like hurt somebody over a man. Like, oh, you're cheating on me, I'm gonna go hurt the woman because you're, you know, like people that are not in their right mind, to be honest. Because you could say they're like normal, but if you're doing that type of shit over one person, over a man, you have no control over yourself. And if you have no control over yourself, you can do a lot that can put you in jail and hurt somebody else. So she says she had to cut her all the way off. Be careful with them male-centered ass women. Be careful with that shit. All right, be safe out here.